Hi there. Thank you for tuning in today and spending your lunch hour with us. We will get started in just a minute here as people are coming in. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. 25 Financial is a wealth advisory firm that works exclusively with physicians nationwide, and they are a preferred partner of Practice Match. Stephen McKee, Wealth Advisor, will be presenting today's session, adding value at no cost.
Thank you very much, Laura. I appreciate everyone coming and taking the time to be able to go over these topics and seeing how you can go ahead and set up your hospital groups for benefiting physicians, identifying their pain points, and then figuring out exactly how that can help with retention and recruitment processes. So today we will ultimately be covering 25 financial market expertise, physician financial stressors, as well as the benefit to all of your hospital groups. So first and foremost, 25 Financial was founded about 20 years ago. I like to tease that the partners have actually gone to school longer than most physicians. Among us, we have Juris Doctorates, bar certified advisors. We have masters in taxation law, CFPs, multiple other things. And we work with physicians all the way from Alaska down to Florida, New York to Arizona. And from that, what we've found is physicians are very unique. They have quite a few different pain points. They typically start much later in life, 35, 38 years old. They accrue large amounts of debt going through medical school, and then they are taxed very heavily. So financial stress is definitely a huge aspect of burnout. And then we're going to go ahead and cover the benefit to you all and how you can provide some value to physicians, both currently in practice or those looking to transition into practice for part of your recruitment purposes. So how we came to be financial experts, we worked with thousands of physicians over the years all across the US. And as I mentioned before, they start later in life. They have high debt, high taxes, and it's very hard for them to catch up because they basically cut off 15 years, 15 working years to be able to retire when they want with what they want while also enjoying life in between. What we found is they do have very unique goals and needs beyond just the general public. Oftentimes, they're going to be investing in real estate. They're going to be paying those high taxes and trying to figure out ways to circumvent that. So what we do is we approach with a, not a one size fits all like a lot of different firms do, but very specifically tailored to physicians and what their needs are, because each state is very uniquely different, with California being, say, 50% tax bracket between the state, local, and federal, or you can look at Florida with your income tax free. So there's a lot of different factors that go with each physician based upon each state that they're in. How we actually add value. So we provide a white glove service that offers stress-free convenience to physicians. And as mentioned before, each physician is very unique in their goals and their needs, as I'm sure you are very familiar as recruiters of looking at, do they want to go rural? Do they want to do research? Do they want to do, clinical? All these different factors. Each physician is very unique. So we provide a customized approach specifically suited to the individual. And unlike other firms that may provide a few services, we actually offer comprehensive tools for hospital groups and physicians alike. And additionally, and to your benefit, we don't charge you anything. I actually was talking with a physician recruiter about 2 months ago, and they basically explained, yeah, we pay this financial advisory firm to take care of like two small issues for physicians. And I was like, wait, you pay them to do things that they're getting paid for by doing that business to begin with. So it just surprised me, and I simply opted to do it for free. That said, some of our previous partnership programs, so we've had several program coordinators reach out directly to us to help guide their physicians into practice. And what we found is working with these partners has ultimately proven effective in helping doctors successfully juggle transitioning into practice, while also avoiding the financial stress pitfalls. And just beyond moving into, beyond transitioning physicians, our goal is to help both young physicians and those already in practice. And I'll also explain how this kind of works out for you and to your benefit of helping them avoid those pitfalls, because the next slide is going to be physician financial stressors and how that impacts them overall with how they're in practice, what they're focusing on, and ultimately what their thought process is. So without further ado on that, let me start with a bottom line up front. Financial stress is heavily correlated with burnout. Medscape themselves conducted surveys in 2021 and 2022, stating that 52% of physicians consider leaving their profession, citing financial stress as a major factor. So half the physicians that you interact with will at some point in their career look or consider leaving being a physician due to financial stress. The benefit, though, is you have the ability to solve that solution by, and I'll cover this, but beyond that, beyond just Medscape, Physician Foundation released a 2023 report stating that financial management and insurance issues were a significant source of stress and burnout for physicians. The American Medical Association conducted a survey in 2023 showing that 63% of physicians reported experiencing burnout, and financial stress was cited as the second leading cause. I also have additional studies and surveys by the Association of American Medical Colleges, Health Affairs, Lancet Psychiatry, Health Services Research, and the Journal of the American Medical Association all list financial stress as a leading cause of physician burnout. So the correlation is clear, and you can set yourself and your group apart by providing a comprehensive solution to this. Now, within these financial stressors, with the thousands of physicians that we've worked with, these are typically the top 7 issues that we come across. So first and foremost, as mentioned before, debt consolidation. When you have 70% of transitioning physicians coming out with 6 figures of debt, they have 2 options. They either pay that down over time, which takes a considerable amount of income to do so, or they have their student loan forgiveness program. Now, unless that hospital group is a nonprofit, the PSLF is really not an option for them. However, within that, we do have preferred partners and resources available for individuals to go to that they can then use that for the paperwork to get filled out to make sure that they're hitting all the checks, crossing the T's, dotting the I's to ensure that they have the student loan forgiveness program. We have preferred partners that we work with for debt consolidation purposes. For individual disability insurance, this is actually a big one that I come across very often because most hospital groups are going to have group long-term disability. However, some of the factors within that is within the rule of thumb for financial approaches on disability insurance is they need to have at least 60 to 80% of their income covered by disability insurance. Now, if the hospital is paying the premiums for that policy, if they and should they become disabled, ultimately that is considered tax deferred. So when that benefit is paid out, that's taxed, ultimately pushing them below the 50% of what they were previously making. So we look at disability insurance to tag that along with the group long-term disability to ensure that they are not completely overrun on financial stress due to not making as much income. Now, we only work with preferred partners, unlike other firms, and I'm not going to call anyone, but we don't have to say this is the only option that you have. What we do is we go ahead and collaborate with and work with multiple different companies to ensure that they are competing and bidding for the lowest payments for the best coverage. So that is our ultimate goal for all the physicians, is to ensure they're getting the best value for the least amount of money. Now, for life insurance, what I would simply say on that is most physicians have a large level of debt, and our approach keeps more money in their pocket for larger amounts of coverage, ensuring that they have that peace of mind and ensuring their loved ones can live off the interest rather than the principal. So if they have a mortgage, if they have the student loans, if they're putting their kids through school or college, should something happen to them, the ultimate goal is for them to be able to live off interest rather than the principal, so that that significant other is not burdened by large amounts of debt. Physician home mortgages, with their debt and taxes, it is very difficult to typically accumulate a down payment for several years, and oftentimes they're encumbering themselves with even more debt to purchase a home. These home loans ultimately allow them to achieve their dreams sooner than later. And the benefit to you is once they purchase a home, they're actually anchored in that area and far less likely to look for other jobs. I've worked with quite a few different physicians that if they're renting and they may or may not like the job or it's adequate, they'll look at different locations and ultimately leave that hospital because they don't have a home there. They haven't built a community, they haven't built or plugged in roots. The next factor that we cover is trusts, estate plans, and wills. So it's very easy to simply say that in the course of a career for physicians, 50% of them are ultimately going to face a lawsuit. Now, most hospitals are going to have the medical malpractice insurance. However, if that exceeds that amount, it is vital to protect their estate and their families to ensure that they have their estate plans set up, their trusts and their wills. And you would be very surprised with the number of physicians that I work with who I'd easily say 60 or 70% do not have anything set up. So should something happen to them, they have to go through probate. They don't know exactly where the money's going. They assume that it's going to their spouse, but depending on the state that they're living in, it could be common law, it could be joint tenants, all the different factors specific to each state. Now, I would say the last thing, because I mentioned the 3 factors of starting later, large amounts of debt, and high taxes, the greatest thing that can probably set you apart amongst other hospital groups, and perhaps the best tool you can add for recruitment, is tax mitigation. So 95% of physicians that I work with are completely unaware that there are tools to mitigate their taxes and keep more money in their pockets. So this goes beyond just employer account contributions, HSA contributions, 529, mortgage interest, anything like that. We actually provide unique strategies that can drastically lower the amount paid in taxes. So by keeping more of their hard-earned income, they can alleviate stress and focus more on patients. And this is one of the top issues I come across when working with physicians. So if you're looking at California with that 50% tax bracket, as I mentioned before, this allows them to keep a lot more money in their pocket, thereby not looking for other jobs that may pay higher amounts. Now, most physicians start focusing on these issues as they're transitioning into practice and don't know all the factors needed until they're actually in the crux of the issue. So our goal and value proposition, if you were, is to build the plane before it takes off. We provide a consolidated approach for each of these issues, working with multiple providers so that the physicians can pick and choose the best options for their specific needs and goals. So it's in your best interest to be able to provide your physicians with a comprehensive solution to help them avoid these pitfalls. These are the most common issues we've heard from physicians, and ultimately why we deal with financial stress and why they may look to change jobs. Now, all that aside, why is this helpful for you, and what is the benefit that it provides you in dealing with these issues? First off, by eliminating financial stress, you can help reduce the physician burnout. That 52% of physicians who are looking at potentially leaving the profession due to the financial stress. That translates to better job satisfaction, focus, as well as retention. And it simply just adds more tools in your tool belt for recruiting and retention purposes. Now, few hospitals and groups typically have the consolidated tools to help mitigate the second leading cause of physician burnout. But by streamlining your onboarding process, offering a comprehensive one-stop solution for all the resources they need, and offering W-2 and 1099 tax mitigation strategies, you're able to set yourself apart from other hospitals, attract more physicians to your group, as well as increase the benefits offered to your physicians. So our goal is to help you help physicians by removing stress and focusing on what's important. So rather than piecing out each factor and making your physicians figure this out all by themselves and contacting, 7, 8, 10 different people, you can have one group help guide them through and make their lives far less stressful. So that's it, us in a nutshell. Those are the pain points, and that is the benefit to what we can provide and help you with both recruitment and retention. So I'm going to open this up to questions. I do have my chat box open, so you can either unmute yourself or go ahead and send a question in.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephen. We appreciate your presentation today. We will be sending this out afterwards as a recording. If you have any other questions, feel free to get in touch with Stephen directly or reach out to us, and we are happy to get you in touch.
I appreciate the time, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.